during the days when Bnei Yisrael were preparing for their Kabbalah Torah. We all know the pasuk says, "Vayichad Sham Yisrael neged hahar," and Rashi says there were ki'ish echad b'lev echad. There was a unity amongst the Jewish people as they prepared for Matan Torah, as they surrounded Har Sinai. And just looking around the room at the diverse crowd of students, former Balabatim, people who work together with Rabbi Anemer Zatzal, I think that on a certain level, we're fulfilling this idea as well. There's no question Rabbi Anemer was always that Har Sinai, that mountain, source of Torah, which was always there for us through everything that all of us in this room went through in our lives. Rabbi Anemer was always a part of that. And I think that there could be no greater kavod for Rabbi Anemer than the fact that such a diverse group of his students and Balabatim would be getting together to give kavod to him. I want to acknowledge the presence of members of Rabbi Anemer's family. 3 of his grandchildren and grandson-in-law are here. I think over the course of tonight, you'll hopefully be able to gain a perspective on what Rabbi Anemer meant to all of us as his students and the impact to hear his Shabbos Midrash. And he always divided it into 2. The first half was Eve. Some nuance in Shulchan Aruch about Tshuva or Pesach or Matzah with the Magen Avraham and the Taz and the Shach and the Pri Megadim, and the joke in the yeshiva. Anemer Zatzal was really through my years at the yeshiva, and I remember very vividly walking into that yeshiva the first day of 7th grade and seeing Rabbi Anemer there, and I'm going to use the same terminology that Rabbi Spalter used. Fear was definitely there, and I couldn't imagine how these 11th and 12th graders were sitting in his shiur every day. I couldn't believe it. I was so scared of him. And then a month or 2 into 7th grade, experienced something which I will never forget, and I was thinking about it on the day of the funeral. I was sitting there watching on the computer what was going on in Shomer Moon in Silver Spring. We were outside playing recess. We were playing football, and one of my friends or classmates intercepted a ball and ran it back for a touchdown. And it didn't have been for my son. And my son, we were actually watching the video as we were preparing for my son's bar mitzvah. We were watching the video of the Pidyon Haben, and we were watching. He saw, I can't believe a Talmud Chacham like that gave me that bracha. And later on the next day, we found out about Rabbi Anemer's patira. He felt such a kesher to Rabbi Anemer that he was the Kohen who was there for his Pidyon Haben. I can just say I'm so proud, so fortunate to be among the thousands of students who view Rabbi Anemer as the Rebbe. I know that I, like so many others, could not be anything, if I'm anything, if it wasn't for the love and devotion that Rabbi Anemer gave to us. His family should know how much he meant to all of us, and hopefully that should be a nechama for them as well. And he's Zichro Baruch. The last presentation for tonight, Rabbi Piansky mentioned at the Levaya in Silver Spring a point which could have easily been lost on so many of us. And he pointed out that this year, Rabbi Anemer was giving shiur. He has students in his shiur who are now mourning the loss of their Rebbe. And he mentioned them by name and went out of his way to comfort them. And it was really something which blew my mind. These students, these boys are sitting there and they lost their Rebbe. It really shows just the decades that he's been giving Torah to his Talmidim. And to represent the most recent of his students, we're happy to have Ezra Feldman here. Ezra was in his shiur the last 2 years and is currently studying at Memphis Torah in Yerushalayim.
Speak to the Bible. Okay. Quick.
I was born and I grew up in Silver Springs, so Rabbi Anemer was always a constant in my life. I was always intimidated by him. I had a hard time. So I never really got that connection I wish I would have had. But doesn't take away from the fact that I gained so much from him just from being this present every day for a year and a half. I had certain misconceptions about him. I didn't really understand fully who he was. So now that I look back, it always works like this. You look back on something and you don't really what you missed until like after it happened. So it's the same type of thing. Rabbi also spoke about this. He said that Fahir Day, nothing, for those of us guys in my share that are here, they know it's nothing compared to Fahir Day. I remember also 11th grade, my first Fahir that I ever took. I remember my